It's here. Can you believe it? The LA County Mortgage Relief for Mom-and-Pop Landlord Program. Well, actually, it's almost here. They've released the eligibility criteria for the program, and the application is coming soon. In this quick guide for LA County landlords and LA County renters, we're going to run through and explain exactly what is needed to be eligible for the LA County Mortgage Relief Mom-and-Pop Landlord Program. Hey there, Christian Walsh, real estate agent with Wire Associates. In case this is your first time here, we have been delivering updates for landlords and renters throughout California since the beginning of COVID. And remember, we can't give tax or legal advice, but for the most honest and up-to-date real estate advice, subscribe to this channel. So the first spot you're going to stop, I have a link below, is you're going to visit this page. This is the one I've literally been visiting just about every other day to see when they were actually going to add an update. And I was surprised to see the mortgage relief for mom and pop landlord pop up. This page is the financial resources for property owners and landlords. That's a bit of a misnomer. That's a bit of a misnaming because it isn't just for property owners and landlords. This relief that the landlord receives will be given only if the landlord forgives the tenants back rent. So this actually helps out the renter. They have another program coming, and that's why you need to check this page. That's the rent relief program. That is not yet up. We are going to dive into the details, the eligibility standards for the mortgage relief for mom and pop landlords. So the application for this program is not yet ready, but this is important. As a landlord, you can run through to see if you're going to be eligible for this program. So this would be specifically if you have a mortgage on your property, you don't own it outright as a landlord. Let's run through what you need to have to be eligible. Number one is experienced financial distress due to COVID during the dates of March 1st, 2020 to March 31st, 2023. So this is basically the start of COVID all the way through March 31st, 2023, which is when the LA County eviction moratorium ended. So those dates, there must be financial distress. The building must be in a high or highest needs census tract. There's a link below. I'm going to show you how to take a look and find out if the building qualifies for that. Have not received assistance from the state's COVID-19 rent relief or mortgage relief programs. Those are two different programs. So the rent relief program was at housingiskey.com. There's a mortgage relief program as well. Very few people received money through the mortgage relief program because it was primarily for owner occupants. And then housingiskey.com, there were tons of applicants, billions were given out, but there's plenty of landlords and renters who never received a penny. So just note that this doesn't say you didn't apply to that program, but you didn't receive assistance from that program. So you may still have an application pending, and if you haven't received assistance, you could theoretically apply for this. That's an important distinction. The rental property must be between 1 and 4 units. 1 to 4 units in LA County, and the owner isn't required to live there. So that's another important thing to understand. 5 units plus are not going to be eligible for this program. And I just hinted at this. Property is not located in the city of Los Angeles. So what that means is anywhere in LA County, from the sounds of it, even the incorporated areas in LA County, at this point in time, it sounds like will be eligible, except for the city of Los Angeles. They will not be eligible for this program. The application will definitely clarify some of this as well. This next clause is related to the ownership of the property, sole owner, husband and wife, tenants in common, living trust, joint tenancy, or LLC, as long as there isn't a corporate member. This may sound familiar if you've watched my AB 1482 content. This is very similar to the ownership for an exempt property under AB 1482. They're trying to prevent corporations from getting to these funds. Interesting one here. Own the property for 12 months prior to the declared state of emergency in March of 2020. That's an interesting one. That means that you had to acquire the property March of 2019 or before. So if you bought it anytime during COVID and experienced issues, you're not going to be able to apply, or even 6 months before COVID. More requirements, more layers, property owner income of up to 120% AMI, area median income. Where are you going to find that number? Well, we are going to show you that number here. These are the latest median income numbers. They were just released in June of 2023. So these are the numbers most likely that are going to be used for the AMI, the area median income. And it is based on household size. So this number here is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This runs through the different sizes of the household because that affects the median income as well. So a family of 4 at 117,850, the moderate income number is 120% of area median income. So that is the number, the maximum amount that the landlord could make and still qualify for this program. The loan balance can't be more than $1 million, and I'm assuming $1 million at the point you're applying, and that could be bad for some folks who got behind and their balance has ballooned. They need that help. But if it's more than $1 million, you're out of luck. This is a strange one, is all I can say. Housing cost burden up to 60%. The housing cost burden is based on the payment that an individual has and how much of that income it takes up. So I don't understand why this is in here, quite frankly. Hopefully the application will better explain it. Does that mean that if you're basically your payments are too high as compared to your burden, they're not going to help you? So if it's 70, 80, 90%, so this one needs clarification, doesn't quite make sense. And I'm assuming it applies to the landlord because these other ones have applied to the landlord, not the tenant. Again, maybe you have an idea, leave it in the comments below. Kind of an obvious one, but there must be back rent or utility debt owed by tenants as a result of COVID-19. The tenant had to lose employment or have a reduction of work hours. So theoretically, the way to prove this, and we'll see what the application wants, but tenants should have been giving their letters to certify the self-declaration that they couldn't pay due to COVID. That may need to go in, or maybe you can get a letter from your renters stating that now. Again, these funds, while they're pegged as being for landlords, they actually are there to help tenants. So as a condition of receiving the grant, property owner must accept the fund is full settlement of rental debt owed by the tenant, and they can't evict for that back rent, and they can't go after the tenant for any judgment for that back rent. So they haven't listed a limit like they do for the other program of $30,000. That may be the limit here. We'll use that number. So if there is a limit of $30,000, a landlord will not be able to move forward. If the tenant owes, for example, $50,000, landlord can't go after that additional $20,000. The landlord will need to agree that the amount given through this program will be sufficient and relieve the tenant of any further owing of back rent. So how do you determine if you're in the high or highest need tier? Well, you're going to use that link they give you, and it's going to take you to this GIS. I love a good GIS system. You're going to go ahead and click up here in the upper right under the need tier, and you're going to select the highest and high, and that is going to give you the areas that will be eligible for this program. And then what are you going to do next? You're going to zoom in? Nah, you're just going to hit this search. You're going to put an address in to see if your property qualifies. Let's see if 123 Main qualifies. No, it doesn't. It falls outside. This is in El Segundo. This falls outside. But this area here, this area would qualify for the program. So that is what you're going to do to figure out if you are eligible as a landlord. Let us know in the comments below if your property that you're living in or that you own is going to be eligible for the mortgage relief program. Make sure you don't miss any updates on the rental funds coming in LA County. If you subscribe to our free weekly email newsletter, it'll be delivered right to your email inbox. And if you liked this video, you are gonna love this one right here. Thanks for tuning in. This has been Christian Walsh, real estate agent with Wire Associates, Berkshire Hathaway Home Services, and we want to hear from you.